The news broke this weekend that Brian Williams of NBC anchor, most watched news anchor in America and around the world today, has taken himself off of the NBC lineup and presenting the news. It has become unequivocally clear that he lied about his being on the Chinook helicopter some 10 years ago, possibly, and then lied about the lie of being on the helicopter, said he was remembered. And so MSNBC is now in a tailspin in as much as that they're going to try to find a way to regain their credibility. I'm only talking about Brian Williams because there's someone far worse than Brian Williams that needs to go, and that is Al Sharpton, who also is a broadcaster on MSNBC. We gave Phil Griffin and Jeffrey Emlett and all of the stockholders and members of the MSNBC financial, economic, and management staff until the 7th of February to fire Al Sharpton and to issue a public apology to the American people of having the likes of Al Sharpton, unrepentant for Tawana Brawley, unrepentant for the deaths of the young people died at Freddie's Fashion Mart, and unrepentant of the riotous behavior that he has sown for so many years. It was just an insult and an absolute affront to the American intellect and to the integrity of the news business to have this race pimp as a journalist on MSNBC. We have not heard from Phil Griffin nor MSNBC, nor has there been any public statement. I just want to run a couple of things past those of you who will now join with me in the support of the boycott of all of MSNBC's products, advertisers rather, their products and entities. NBC right now will lose its ratings because of Brian Williams. And any surplus funding that would have gone to MSNBC will then be put in jeopardy. The MSNBC itself has the lowest of all cable ratings in the cable news business. And so therefore, they're only going to sink even lower than they are at present. I would think that one of the things that would gain the attention and perhaps the compassion and the support of the 70 million American people that will hear us and support us in this boycott is that MSNBC would say, listen, we made a mistake. We hired Al Sharpton. We did so because he was highly recommended by Barack Hussein Obama. And quite frankly, at the time, we thought that we were hiring him that it would help with race relations. That thought may have been misguided, that we could have been a little bit prejudiced in our beliefs that actually Al Sharpton, with a nightly newscast, would bring America together. We were wrong. We've seen the worst of race relations, from Trayvon Martin to Eric Garner to Michael Brown and a host of others. We made a mistake. And so we're asking Mr. Sharpton to relinquish his position with us here at MSNBC, and we want to apologize to the American people for having made that mistake, as NBC should apologize for Brian Williams having lied to the American people and put the lives of soldiers in jeopardy and mischaracterized our men that fight, who put their lives on the line every day when Brian Williams' life was never at jeopardy. That would be the wise thing for MSNBC to do. And whether I ever call for the boycott or not, it will be the sensible, it will be the integral thing to do in light of the truth that we are presenting. And you got to know that Phil Griffin and the stockholders and others and businesses know that Al Sharpton was a mistake. He was a mistake. And long before I called for his dismissal, they should have taken it unto themselves to do this. And so they have refused to do it. they've refused to do it for perhaps one is they may have felt insulted by my approach, demanding that he be fired and that a letter of apology be given. Well, you know, MSNBC, Phil Griffin, you're a big boy now. You know, you can't wear your feelings on your sleeve. We just said it like it was, and we didn't bite our tongue, and we identified the rat, the mob rat. I mean, come on, people of America. Al Sharpton was featured by the New York Post as a mob rat, as a snitch, as a drug dealer who wore a wire on people that trusted him. And yet MSNBC kept him on that broadcast? I mean, come on. Come on. A person of such character that the Post would feature? You say, well, it's just journalism rivalry. The Post is a conservative organ and we're liberals, and so it was just a smack at, but it's true, Al did wear the wire. He is a rat, and he is a snitch, and he's also a suspected drug dealer. I mean, you've got a suspected drug dealer presenting the news nightly to the American people. You know, you shouldn't have the right to exist. So we will bring you down, MSNBC. We will. The advertisers are going to feel the wrath of God. We're going to stop purchasing their products, and I'm going to amass boycotts all over America at the headquarters or at the financial institutions where your advertisers spring from. We'll have boycotts all over America. We're starting with Jaya Restaurant, both locations here in New York City, and Macy's department store is going to be our first targeted boycott. But it is just unthinkable that an alleged drug dealer who's not been cleared, definitely one who is a rat and a snitch and wore a wire and had, if you will, mafioso connections and friends, presents the news on MSNBC. The American people have just had enough of this manipulation of the races by Al Sharpton and by organizations such as MSNBC, who've dug in their heels to protect this thug, this outright race pimp. He will come down, but now to get him down, we must take you down, MSNBC, and NBC as well. We will take you down. Me, I'm James David Manning, everybody. I'm the Lord's servant.